Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. There's something I want to share with you. Well, let me give you some history. So what happens is normally the information you see on Milton Daily Homes is done through the Toronto Real Estate Board, and so that's just a board that we're comfortable using. So there's a Stratus MLS system, and so that is the source information. If a listing is loaded, I can see it in 2 minutes after it's loaded. Then what happens is it goes to the public sites, and it also gets shared with the Oakville Milton Real Estate Board. So those Oakville, Milton, and Toronto have shared information between each other. And so I've been a part of both boards since basically I moved to Milton. And then if you ever see a double listing on MLS.ca, that's because the listing is shared from each one of those sites over to the public site. So that's what happens. The source information, then it goes out to the public sites. And so the data sharing between those two boards is now expiring, which means there's going to be a completely separate database here and a completely separate database here. What that means for consumers, you can see most of the properties on MLS.ca. There's never 100% coverage, but there's a pretty high number. But agents now have to search on two different systems. So you might see some changes in Milton Daily Homes. We might have to pull up two different MLS systems and actually go through the listings. We're going to see how it goes. We're just taking it day by day. I think most of the agents are as well. But I'll tell you one thing, if your agent is not part of both real estate boards, you're not going to get the best information. And you're definitely, if you're listing your house, you're not going to be exposed to the most people possible. So keep that in mind. May 16th is the date, and then after that it's going to be like the wild wild west for a little while in real estate. So we'll see what happens. At least in Milton, you don't have that problem in Mississauga, Toronto. Those boards that use the Toronto system, the Oakville Milton exists on its own, same as the Hamilton Burlington board. They overlap regions a little bit, so it can be a little bit annoying. But anyways, that's what it is. So if you have any questions about that, just send me an email. I don't mean to bore you, but I want to let you know that that's really what's happening behind the scenes. Now, let's get to today's list. There's 10 properties. 661 Holly is $399. It's just over 1,800 square feet. There's laminate floors. It's bigger than a lot of the stuff listed at 384, 389, 390, that kind of stuff. I don't know if it's a wow inside. I like the fact it's an end unit. It's probably not that far off, and these units, because of competition, have actually slid down a little bit, but I'm sure they're going to come back up as buyers start to land them. And really, a double garage, it's really the cheapest way to get a double garage in town. You've got Costigan at $414,900, and you've got kind of an open concept main floor. They've done some decent upgrades inside the house, and then they've got the finished basement here too. To me, I could see this one selling for $414,000, but I don't know if I'm entirely comfortable with that. I don't know if it has what I'd expect to see at $414,000. Andrews Trail is $459,000. The location on this one is actually right beside the train tracks, so there's these tall 3-story homes. They're more than 2,000 square feet. They're a good amount of size, but I'm not a big fan of the location. If getting to the GO train is important to you, it's a pretty simple. You just walk right up Thompson and you walk right across whatever this street is here. I can't recall the name, but it's very close. So if you work in Toronto, this could be a good option for you. I'd expect at 2,140 square feet that they would have 4 bedrooms, but they only have 3 bedrooms, which I don't know. I just think that people expect 4 at a certain size point. So Hayward Crescent is $419,500. It's a little bit bigger than the stuff that typically sells at $400,000. That's where the value is coming from. They've done some upgrades, but there's obviously some original parts to it. You can paint that wood siding, and it actually looks pretty good, the wood walls. And there it is. You've got a backyard. It's 55 by 106, so you've got a little bit wider, but maybe not as deep as some of the stuff in the area. Low Lane is at $459,000. It's a 1,500 square foot home. You can see nice front porch. The trees are in bloom. This home's probably, I would say, about 11 years old. Front room, plus you've got your family room, and that's the other side of the family. Then you've got your kitchen, and they've got a half wall, so you can actually work with it. You can put a table against this wall, but it's still relatively open concept too. So it looks like a good home at $459,000. We have seen this model sell with a finished basement for around this price, but this one looks like it's in pretty good shape. McFerrin is a Plan 4. It's 1835 square feet. Looks like it has 2-car parking in the driveway. One of my favorite floor plans. You get a small living room or a den in the front. You've got a dining, family plus kitchen, and everything looks like it's in place. They've got the chef's kitchen design, which is my favorite layout. Then they've got 4 bedrooms upstairs. And they've got the mostly all brick on the outside, which is one of the rare ones to find. So 484.9 is probably right around where it should be. 9-foot ceilings on the main floor. I like some of the things that they chose. You get this one on Duncan Lane at 490. It's the part of Duncan Lane that does not face the train tracks, so it's on the J. It's on the end part of it. And it's a really nice open concept floor plan, living, dining in the front. You've got a kitchen with a big open family room. You've got 9-foot ceilings. And I look at something like this, and they say it's linked by the garage only. So what that means is there's no bedrooms, there's no living spaces that are attached to the neighbor, which is good. Still functionally far more like a semi than a detached home from a value perspective anyway. So we look at some of the like Heathwood has a model called an Azalee, which is a semi. It's 2,200 square feet. They got up at 485. So this definitely doesn't look like a deal, but I could see somebody picking this one up. It still would be one of the top probably 5 attached housing sales ever if they got anywhere close to this number. Now Watson Terrace is at $499, and so this one is an 1820 square foot home. It does not have a finished basement. That's high for this model. Coffered ceiling, hardwood floors. The kitchen has some upgrades in it. 3 bedrooms upstairs, plus you've got a laundry upstairs as well, and then it's a standard 36 by 80 property. Nice. I don't know if they've got the juice for this one though. There was a time when the good ones were selling at $499, but they kind of hit a peak and then they just slowed down a little bit. Cedar Brae is a side split. You can see from the kitchen you actually overlook the family room, and then there's a front room over here. It's a nice floor plan actually, and then you walk down to the basement. And yeah, I like the way this one's set up. I know that it's a little hit or miss. Some buyers aren't crazy about it. The crown moldings, you've got some nice photos, and they've updated the bathrooms and so on. So I believe this model has an ensuite bathroom, and it's also on a 50 by 149 foot property, which is very, very nice. It's a very respectable size. 550 is probably a good price range. Blaine is 559. They converted the master to and this home is probably I think 23 or 2,400 square feet. Converted the master into a big suite, which is nice, I suppose. But if you need the 4th bedroom, I bet you there's more people that would appreciate this one as a 4-bedroom than a 3. So that's your room upstairs, sort of the in between above the garage. And $559 probably is a pretty fair price for this one. They might just have a more narrow audience from having the 3 bedrooms there. So that's the list for today, just 10 properties, and we'll keep you posted with what's going on with the listings. But either way, we're going to find a way to get stuff on Daily Homes, to review them, to share with you the information we think you need to know so that you can stay safe, make better decisions, and get where you need to be. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.